Okay, hey guys, Haight Street Voice here. I am with Scott Vasterling. Did I say that right?
Mhm.
All right,
Yes, correct.
from Humboldt Family Farms. I'm totally stoked to have you here. We met last year at the Haight Street Art Center. We love you,
Hmm.
Kelly. We love you, Kelly. And so I guess maybe let's start there. Your Humboldt Family's Farm was founded in 2007.
Hmm.
I love the fact that you and I are talking this week because it's the summer solstice on Thursday
Correct.
and a full moon on Friday. So and this is the summer edition. So I'm stoked you're my very first interview for this edition. And I love the fact that your quote on your website says where the earth meets the sky and that flowers love sunshine. Was that it? Flower, I wrote it down.
Yeah, flowers prefer sunshine.
Yeah, prefer
Hmm.
sunshine. All right,
Yeah, yeah,
welcome. Welcome. So
yeah.
tell
Thank you for
me,
having us.
yeah. How did you get to the Haight Street Art Center? Maybe we'll start there.
Yeah, sure. Humboldt Family Farms was founded back in 2007. We had a food farm. I'll kind of give you a little history of Humboldt
Please
Family
do.
Farms
Please do.
leading up to how we met at Haight Street.
Yeah, okay.
We founded in 2007 as a food farm, actually.
Oh, wow.
My wife and sister-in-law owned a cafe up in Trinidad. And they've had that for 20 years. And we started supplying a variety of different fruits and vegetables, eggs, and so forth to the cafe. So that's kind of how Humboldt Family Farms was born. What we did is we took that same kind of mindset as we navigated through regulations with cannabis, and the same people that are growing amazing peaches and tomatoes, those farmers also grow amazing craft
Um,
sun-grown cannabis. And so we now curate for a menu in cannabis as well, using those same relationships that we had,
wow.
from supporting them through the cafe. And
Yeah.
so over the years of navigating regulations and through Prop 64 and a lot of the policy work that I had done, I built relationships not only with different farmers, but different people that, they have influence in music and art. And cannabis has been such a part of that, cultural
And I know you're a surfer from San Diego. Let's throw that in there. I
originally.
did my
Yeah, yeah.
homework. Yeah, and I
Yeah,
love
and
that.
and
I
and
love that.
sports and all those things. Yep,
Yeah.
that's where I grew up, was down in San Diego. And so some of those connections led us to the Haight Street Art Museum, and Jeff and Kelly over there are fantastic, and their whole team has been incredibly supportive of artists,
Yeah.
and music clearly. And of course, there's this component of underground cannabis inspiration that some of these people get. And so
Yeah,
to be able to act.
she just did the women and weed thing, which was really beautiful.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome. We had
that was incredible.
a great attendance there,
Yeah,
and some amazing farmers that were there in attendance to answer questions. So
yeah,
yeah, so little things like that, just to kind of show that, hey, there's, like, we're this brand that has been supplying a lot of these
yeah.
inspirations in art and music for a long time. And yeah, it's a pleasure that Kelly and Jeff invited us to come and be a part of that, and to share some of the wares from our farmers and tell our stories, and kind of connect people,
Hmm.
in the Haight Street area. And of course, Spark on Haight Street is one
Hmm.
of our favorite, retail outlets. I mean, I don't know, maybe 150 yards away from Haight Street Art Museum.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
they've got a whole variety of our products there, and they're a great retail partner for us to help support the area.
Awesome. So what does the hate mean to you? Like, what's your connection with the hate? I mean, do you have a maybe it's a new thing for you? I don't know.
It was just always this, like, an inspirational place that even back in college, I moved up to, I went to Chico State. And so when I moved up to Chico State in the early 90s, I was always coming down into the city
Yeah,
for shows. I mean, it
yeah.
was, with Jerry Garcia and Dave Grisman, and they were playing down at the Warfield, and things were night after night, and I was missing classes. But that the Haight Street was always where we ended up. Seemed like we always spent a lot of time there, and
Yeah.
also, it's also, there's a lot of history of cannabis in that area as well. And so just kind of that counterculture movement, and so it was just always very intriguing, and it was a very free spirited, artistic lifestyle that I felt like people were always living in the Haight. And so when I had the opportunity to support the Haight Street Art Museum through
Haight
cannabis,
Street Art Center. I'm going to correct you there.
yeah, Art Center, yes, correct. It was a great partnership that we've developed over the last couple of years, and of course, that's how we met.
Yeah. And they're starting to introduce, Kelly's doing the thing where she's introducing music, live music. I think it's going to be once a month. She's doing a punk rock show. Anyway, we love you,
Yeah,
Kelly. We love you,
yeah.
Kelly. So I wanted to talk to you about actual weed you know, smoking weed, and I love what you said again on your website. You said something to the effect of you would smoke a little weed just to get a little buzz, but not to get stoned. And I love that whole idea of, you know, you don't have to knock yourself out getting stoned all day, right?
Mhm.
And that you're an athletic person, and yet weed doesn't interfere. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are like,
Yeah.
oh, you're just a stoner. So can you speak to that a little
Yeah.
bit?
Well, I felt like it's more of I used it more functionally, I
Mm.
guess, than I did just to kind of, check out in a sense. So,
Right.
back in, it's one of the things that, I think my father and I had kind of some of the biggest conflicts in our life was over the fact that I was very successful in sports and surfing and
Mm,
organized sports like soccer and baseball. And
mm,
I always found that like I could really find focus if just a little bit of cannabis. And so still to this day, I find that, not a huge amount, maybe when I'm at a show or something and I
right.
really want to be involved, but of course, but I just find that I find inspiration from it. It brings a lot of creative thought. I still feel very in control, and I'm managing a big business and with a lot of farmers and a lot of a lot of things going on, and so I find that I can still really function in that way. So I typically don't do it during the day. A little bit in the morning with my cup of coffee is one of my favorite times
Mm,
to enjoy it. Go for a walk, uh, you know, check on the farm and everything in the morning,
yeah.
and then kind of start my day.
Yeah,
So
that's beautiful, and I just love that idea of how it's inspirational, and yet it's not being abused. You know, it's not overdoing it.
sure.
I think you say huge production. I think how many acres? 270. Did I write that right? How
Well, no, we our farm. So we have about 5 farms that are in our collaboration,
Okay.
and we have almost 5 acres of cultivation within those 5 farms that we're currently cultivating on. We had about 60 to 70 strains last year. We've got some amazing farmers like Amy Newcomb, who is on the panel that you mentioned,
Yeah.
the Women in Weed, and she is, OCal certified, which is the organic certification. She's an amazing food farmer. She was supplying our cafe for years. And then, of
Wow.
course, we've got Nick over at Full Moon Farms,
Mhm.
also a close friend of mine. And, he's been involved, multi-generations involved in the cannabis industry, and one of the best sun-grown farmers I've met here in Humboldt County. And so it's a pleasure to have his farming products. Amaranth Farms also with Naya, his family, Tommy and Karen, and of course their daughter Alon, all just, again, they've been in it since the late 60s, early 70s, homesteading down in southern Humboldt. And so they've got lots of stories, and their commitment to the plant, has been really impressive. And then a couple of other farms that supply, small products here and there for us as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
love the community driven. It's community driven, and I love that because that's kind of what, with my magazine, it's kind of all we've got left in the world. You know, there's a bunch of clowns at the wheel right now, and the world's a pretty nutty place, especially here in the San Francisco with the driverless cars and, the AI thing that's happening. And to be able to say hello to people in the neighborhood and know people and connect is such a huge important thing at this juncture of the evolution of humanity, in my personal opinion. And I just love
I
that
agree.
the art and the weed and the music, and thanks to people like Kelly and bringing people together like that, it's huge. And I respect what you do and what you're doing up there so much. It's like it's so inspirational. It's California. This is, from whence we come.
Yeah.
And that you're there, that you're nurturing the land, that you're respecting the land is just huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
It,
Thank
it,
you.
get- it's
Yeah.
war it's so warm and fuzzies. It's like, oh God, that's so nice to know that's going on up there.
Yeah. Well, there's some amazing farmers up here, and that's really where Humboldt Family Farms, we just kind of took and said, listen, like one of the biggest challenges with legalization has been how do these farmers get their products through the supply chain and actually to the customers with the tiered system and distribution and things. And so to create a collaborative brand like this, to tell their stories and have them focus on the farming, which is what they love to do, and then they can produce their highest quality products for the brand. And then I share their stories and
Mhm.
who it is that farmed these products. So we're very transparent about everything from testing who the farmers are,
Mhm.
strains. Our retail partners also are fantastic. I mentioned Spark earlier. We're,
Yeah.
we're also with Embark. Flower Co. Is our delivery partner, and they're heavily based in San Francisco area. So those folks that prefer to have deliveries done, Flower Co. They carry a whole variety of our products, and it's a great partner up here. So I feel very honored and grateful that I'm in this position to help support these farmers and celebrate them, really, getting
Yeah.
through the supply chain.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Mhm.
Okay, so we covered that. I wanted to say your connection with the Grateful Dead. Oh, the fact that they're at the Sphere. Do you have any reflections or opinions? For me, I was sort of like poo-pooing it. Clearly, Bob Weir is an old friend of mine, and he was on the cover a few actually 3 summers ago now, three
Okay.
3 years ago. The coming from the counterculture, coming from 1965, 66, San Francisco, Haight-Ashbury, to now a residency in the Sphere. What a strange world we're living in, right? At the same time, it's like they're showing pictures of 710 Ashbury, which is literally, I'm pointing to it right now, a block away.
Yeah.
That's pretty trippy. Do you have any thoughts about where we are on the spaceship we're in? It's
Yeah,
pretty crazy, right?
it's moving very quickly for sure. Have you had a chance to go to the Sphere?
No, have you?
No, I did.
Oh, you
I went.
did?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did. Yeah, and it's spectacular. It really was. And in my opinion, the first day we had seats,
yeah.
and it was more of a movie to me. It was less about the music, and I felt personally a little disconnected with the music
Mhm.
because of the performance and the people's reactions to the visuals versus what typically is like reactionary to the music.
Right.
And I missed that. And so the next 2 nights we were on the floor, and that was a much better
Hmm.
experience because
Okay.
it was very personal. We were, both nights the way they set it up, there's plenty of room on the floor. So we were very comfortably 8 rows back, and it was spectacular. I mean, they were having a great time. They're in rhythm with one another. The drums had a completely different impact on me in that area, and space than I had ever felt before. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I would recommend that people, if they have given the opportunity, and if the music is on the floor, when you're up in the seats, I felt like I was just too far away to really experience it. But I really enjoyed that, and they seemed really happy on stage, I will admit.
Yeah.
And Bobby was playing. He was just really grooving, and John had his vibe going, and everybody else. I personally thought it was a fantastic show. I was really honored. I was thankful that I had the opportunity to attend.
Yeah, apparently, even the street kids that I know, in the neighborhood, because I know a lot of the people around here, and there's like, they got in free, or they spent, $50 or something, but tickets were pretty plentiful. So anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to kind of like, tap into that a little bit, because it's what's
Mm.
really going on, and it's pretty trippy. I mean, I think Jerry Garcia is probably going, "What the heck? Wow, who knew we were going to do a residency in Vegas?"
Yeah,
You
right.
know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah.
but some of those early Vegas shows were some of my favorites. Back with Santana and some of
Oh,
those shows, like, phenomenal.
were
So
you at the one when Sting opened? Were
I
you at
was not at the Sting one. No, I was there when Santana played with
Wow,
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was at the Sting one, and I know David Graham. I was hanging out backstage playing basketball with Eddie Vedder. It's one of
Yeah.
those trippy, wow, what this is nuts. But
Yeah.
thank you, Grateful Dead. We love you,
Yes.
Dead and Co. Bobby.
Absolutely.
I'm fixing to get Bobby. It looks like he probably can't do it till after the residency for the next edition, so for the fall. Who knows? He may come. Bob, get your ass in here. So, okay, thank you. There's that. And then, let's see. Powered by Mother. Oh, flowers prefer sunshine. I just love that quote. Um, oh, and your favorite, I took a bunch of notes. Your
Yeah.
favorite strain being train wreck. I love that when you were young. Your
Yeah.
you like to go with the old school strains. That's kind of the Humboldt Family Farms. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. We do. We have a variety. Like I said, we have
Yeah.
60 to 70 strains. So we do
Right.
some of the newer genetics, but my favorites are the old ones. The train wreck, the Maui Wowie is probably my all-time favorite. And then of course the Blue Dream and some of the older genetics. Again, I like some of the stuff that nowadays is just it's so strong, and
Totally.
some of the infused stuff and things. I mean, I know there's a market for it. And again, I'm not suggesting that, we're any better for not doing it, but I just feel like for me personally, the Maui Wowie is perfect. I love a good sativa, and that real heady high, and yeah, that's kind of my jam.
Yeah, I'm a late bloomer. I didn't smoke weed until I think the first time I ever smoked weed, I was 45 or something. And
Yeah,
I'm like you, I'll have a puff and go for a power walk, but it's just, and it, sort of like lifts the whatever that is in our heads that weighs us down. It kind of blows that
yeah.
up a little bit. Okay, so, kindness and community-driven values. I love that. Um, Desire to preserve authenticity in the face of impending corporate expansion. I love that too, of keeping it local, keeping it family, keeping it community. That's just a really the essence of like I said earlier, it's what's gonna keep us going on this planet. Is really honoring community, honoring art, honoring each other, really. On
Yeah.
that note, what would you like to
And being
say?
good business
Yeah,
partners, right? I mean, we
yeah,
have to be good business partners.
that's
We
really
need to,
true.
the farmers need to get paid, and we need to be working with people. That's probably one of the biggest challenges in cannabis is just the supply chain along the line. Everyone, collecting. And so I think that that's, where we have a great partner with Nabis, who is our delivery partner, distribution partner, and the ability to get these farmers paid, to preserve all of this authenticity and the stories and the culture is critically important. And so that's kind of my commitment to this brand is helping support these farmers and these stories that, I think are so valuable to this industry as we get this influx. And I love that cannabis is becoming more and more normalized every single day. I think it's fantastic. However, I want to make sure that we have a way that we can celebrate some of these, the culture of cannabis up here in the Emerald Triangle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
bless you. We're grateful for you.
thank you.
And what would you like to say? I ask everybody, every interview. I like to end with it's hyper local with a global perspective. So it's about this community here, but it's the essence of the light that lit the 60s, and say hello to people, be kind, and that essence of the Haight Ashbury, but communities all over the world. What would you like to say?
Yeah, I think vote with your dollar. Put your dollar in places, and companies and people and communities that, you believe in and support. I think that's critically important, that people just don't think that they vote once every 4 years, that every single dollar you spend is a vote towards something good and can be something good. So think about that. And because if you're not supporting those types of companies, then those companies won't be there as time goes on. So
I
that's
mean, I totally agree. And with my magazine too, it's just, either with Patreon, people subscribing or running an ad like you guys so nicely did.
mhm,
And
of
same with
course.
Kelly at the Haight Street Art Center. They support every time. Even Dr. Father Dan of the Episcopal Church, it's beautiful. And I'm with you. Vote with your dollar. I really like that idea. And it's sort of like not making money the enemy. It's like money is what keeps these beautiful things alive and running.
It's
And
true.
it's weird to even vocalize that because it's always sort of like, oh, money, but I think it's a really important thing to be cool with that.
Mhm.
Vote with your dollar. Thank you for that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's wonderful.
yeah, my
All right,
pleasure.
man. I think that's it, unless you have anything you want to add. Are you
Yeah,
still
good. No, we're grateful for your support, and we love working in the Haight area. And I'll be down there again here in a couple weeks, and I look forward to catching up.
cool? Yeah, I look forward to seeing you in person. Are you coming to the punk thing they're gonna do?
I will. I don't know if I'll be there on the opening night, but I can't wait to come see the
Okay.
exhibit. Yeah,
Okay, man. All right.
yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, Scott.
All
Hey,
right,
hey, man. Peace. Thank you so much. I
all right.
really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Peace.
everybody.
All
Yeah.
right. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.